How's it going, gamers? Relic here in the War Room, and today we're looking at the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Tips and Tricks Part 3. This is where we're looking at how to craft powerful Witcher gear, runestones, where to find some of the best ones, what type of abilities you need to get now once you're further along at leveling up, and also too, where you can find a pretty powerful relic sword. So let's get into all that right here, right now. Now let's talk about your 3 new abilities you need to get for Geralt. Now the first one is called Strength Training. Strength Training increases the damage output of your heavy attack. Very, very important in this game. Now the next one is called Melt Armor. Melt Armor increases your fire damage. So your fire spell ability you got at the very beginning of this game, the more you upgrade this ability, the more powerful that attack becomes. But now the most important ability to get once you've leveled up a little bit is called Delusion. Now Delusion has 2 major functions. The first one is you can use this ability to stun enemies both large and small. This ability is so useful in boss battles. I cannot tell you how many times I used this on large enemies and got a few extra hits because I managed to stun them. But actually the most important thing is the fact that now in conversations you can use this to kind of trick people into doing what you want. Say if you want to get across a bridge, you need a pass, and you don't have the money, or you want a discount, or you want to avoid a fight or whatever, you can use this ability now in conversations to get what you want from people. And guess what? You get 40 experience points every single time you use Delusion in a conversation, on top of whatever other bonuses you get. So keep this ability in mind if you're looking for new abilities and you want to gain a few extra experience points. Delusion is the ability you want to get when you're dealing with these kind of people. Now let's talk about powerful Witcher gear. Now Witcher gear of any sort is powerful in combat and in magic. Now the only way you can tell Witcher gear is that if it has a green background, but also too is Witcher gear labeled on the far right hand side of the screen right here. The only way you can find items for blacksmiths in order to build them is by doing a lot of side quests. Through my experience, I have found the majority of my Witcher gear by doing some of the toughest side missions you need to do at the beginning of this game. If you're a level 8, a 9, you should be trying to do side missions that are ranked number 10 or 12. Believe it or not, you actually do stand a pretty decent chance. The tougher the side mission, the better chance you're going to be able to loot a down body in order to find that item. And through my experience so far at the beginning of this game, the best place to look for some of these missions is in Novigrad. Novigrad also has some special blacksmiths that work here that can help forge that item, but some of the side missions are very, very cool and actually hold the opportunity in order for you to find the right Witcher gear. Now, there are certain blacksmiths in the game that cannot forge Witcher gear, but if you have to go around and ask them if they can do it. The ones that can, for example, this gentleman, he can forge that sword that you saw me select earlier. This is the guy you want to talk to in Novigrad. He can forge whatever type of Witcher gear you have, so long as it's around level 14 to 17, I believe. Once you craft whatever Witcher gear you have, as you see right here, I just crafted this sword. It's not only is it cool, but powerful as hell. Now once you've constructed some Witcher gear or any type of powerful item, now is the time to attach a runestone. The best places to buy the most powerful ones are merchants that are on the road or living in villages. Now runestones add extra boost to certain magical spells or certain attacks. Now the best stones to get are also some of the most expensive ones that are multi-purpose. Ones that say they give a 5% boost in all of your magic spells or a 7% boost in your attack strength. Those are the ones you want to buy. So remember, gamers, try to save as much money as you can, turn as much items, banded gear, or whatever to try to make as much cash so you can buy these runestones. Once you get a master's work, it is powerful, but nowhere near as powerful as it can be if you buy the right runestones. So make sure you're going out there and buying these stones from merchants that are on the road or living in villages. The ones that are in towns, they do have a few, but if you want some of the most powerful, you're better off trying to find the guys who are walking around the countryside or living in villages. Now say for example you want to get a runestone back from an item you no longer use. Now there is one way to do this. You need to go to a blacksmith and have the blacksmith dismantle the item that the runestone is attached to. Keep in mind that item, whatever it is, will be destroyed. So make sure you're making a clear decision that either you want to save the runestone or sacrifice it to keep the item that it is attached to. So now, which one of you gamers out there would like to get a relic sword that's pretty powerful? Well, I think anybody would. So this is the contract to do it called Swamp Thing. Now, Swamp Thing is the contract that starts off in the swamp, obviously. You're going to be talking to a man out there who's requesting your help in clearing out an area where a very powerful Foglet lives. Now, Foglets are basically these gremlins that live in the fog. They're pretty tough to fight sometimes, but before we get into that, let's talk about haggling. Now, when you haggle with people, the bar will show up on your screen, and you can basically request any amount of money all the way up from the maximum that this person can afford that you would like as your payment. From my experience, do not ever ask for the maximum. They will never pay it, and also too is that their annoyance level could go all the way to the max. If their annoyance level goes all the way to the max, you run the risk of either getting paid the lowest or them declining your help at all. That's right, you could lose a chance to do a contract. So keep the bar in the middle, and if they don't agree to that price, bring it down a little bit. Somewhere between, I would say, a quarter of the way to just the middle. That is the best chance and best opportunity you're going to be able to make extra bank. Don't ever ask for the maximum. Now, you will find this Foglet behind a barricade of an illusion of these rocks right here. And once you clear out this illusion, the Foglet will be inside the cave. Now, this guy, he's actually pretty tough. He's a side boss, basically. What you're going to have to do to fight this guy is that first and foremost is make sure you have your Thunderbolt potion, which allows you to increase your attack strength, and you have enough food on hand to consume when fighting him. For some reason or another, when I fought this guy, just a few of his attacks from his claws brought my health down rapidly. I don't know what it was. I thought it was my character was getting poisoned or whatnot, but he can kill you if you're not careful. So basically, when you want to use to fight this guy is two abilities: your stun ability and your igno ability, which allows you to light the area on fire. Because he can go invisible in the fog, spreading your fire in the area to light him on fire is the best solution to find him. Now, keeping your distance, block a few of his attacks, don't ever move in close quarters combat. Wait for him to be lit on fire while he's distracted, hit him a couple times, and then roll away. As I said earlier, a few attacks from his claws can kill you rapidly. Eat as much food as you can. Once he disappears again, spread your fire ability out all over the place. You can also kind of tell where he is by following that little patch of fog that's just floating around in the area. That's the best way to kind of tell where he is. Now, once he's down to half of his health, this is when you want to start stunning him. Or better yet, start throwing bombs towards the general area that you think he is if you've taken a lot of damage and you don't have enough food. Lure him to you. This little patch area right here is where he patrols. He actually will not chase you outside of that area of the fog. So if you're taking a lot of damage, run away from the fog a little bit, meditate, and then go right back into the fight. Stun him a couple times, light the area on fire, and just keep attacking him. A couple swift strikes with your sword, and then roll away. Once he's finally dead, you will finally unlock a very powerful relic sword that for anyone out there who's a level 8 or 9, you are going to absolutely love this sword and the bonus material you get when you take this pain in the ass prick down. Alright gamers, hopefully you enjoyed our Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Tips and Tricks Part 3 video. We're doing a lot more gameplay tips and tricks vids very soon on this game since this game is so huge. Until then, hopefully you guys will subscribe to us, follow us. We'll be doing more gameplay tips and tricks on this game and more later down the road. Until then, we'll see you guys next time here in the War Room.